I always loved my wife's green tea. It had this balance, earthy but soft, sweet but not sugary. She'd brew it each morning without measuring, just by instinct, and hand me the cup like she was handing over a spell. It was our little ritual, the one constant in our lives. I used to joke that I didn't marry her, I married her tea. We were close, solid, quiet. You could say perfect, and I wouldn't have corrected you. But perfection has its cracks you don't notice until your reflection starts looking back at you from across the street and doing things you can't explain. It started with a sound on the balcony. Just a quiet knock, like something had shifted. I got up to check, thinking it was wind or a loose chair, but what I saw turned my stomach cold. Across from our 8th floor apartment, on our balcony directly opposite ours, stood me. Not someone who looked like me, but me. My face, my shirt, my stance. And next to him, next to me, was my wife. He had her by the wrist. She was struggling, crying. I couldn't hear them through the glass, but I could see her mouth forming my name. And then he shoved her, just like that, over the railing. Her body vanished into the alley below. And that other me stared at me, dead in the eyes. I didn't move, I didn't scream, I couldn't. When I finally came to my senses, I ran through the apartment shouting her name, but she wasn't there. Not in the kitchen, not in the bed, not even in the bathroom. Her shoes were still at the door, but her phone was gone. I checked the balcony, empty. I looked down. Nothing, no body, no blood, no impact. I told myself I'd fallen asleep watching a movie, that I dreamt it, hallucinated, something. But the knot in my stomach didn't go away. I needed to calm down. I did the only thing I knew how to do. I tried to make her green tea, but it wasn't right. It was bitter, off, like ash and medicine. I searched the kitchen, opening drawer after drawer, hoping to find the ingredients she always used to bring that perfect sweetness. In the back of the silverware drawer, I found a small green glass bottle, no label, cold to the touch. I opened it, just the faintest whiff, and I knew that was the flavor. That was what she'd been using. On instinct, I added a few drops into the tea. I slipped it, and immediately my tongue was numb. Not sweet, dead. That wasn't a secret ingredient. It was poison. Slow. Subtle. Familiar. I stumbled to the bathroom, splashing water on my face, nearly threw up in the sink. That's when I heard the keys at the front door. She was back. My wife walked in like nothing had happened.
Where were you?
I demanded.
I saw you fall.
She tilted her head, confused, too confused.
You must have been dreaming,
she said. But when I confronted her about the tea, about the bottle, about what I tasted, her face changed. She didn't deny it. She just stared at me and said too calmly,
I didn't think you'd ever look. I was gonna leave you anyway. I'm in love with your best friend.
Something inside me cracked open. Rage filled the space where love used to live. We argued, loud, fast, venomous. I don't remember all the words, only her voice, cold and satisfied. Only the moment where I lost myself. I grabbed her. I dragged her to the balcony. She screamed, kicked, called me insane. I could barely see through the fury. I lifted her, her nails scratching my neck. Her eyes widened in pain, in disbelief. And just before I let go, just before I did the irreversible, I looked up, and there he was, across the alley, on the opposite balcony. Me. Not the one I'd seen earlier, the terrified version. Pale, shaking, watching with wide, horrified eyes, shaking his head, mouthing something I couldn't hear. Don't. That's what I think he was saying.
Don't do it.
His expression was all fear, all panic, like he'd seen this before, like he knew. And in that 1 second, I wasn't the angry husband, the betrayed man. I was him. I was watching myself about to destroy everything. But I knew it was too late. My grip loosened. Her body fell. Silence swallowed everything. I dropped to my knees. Now I sit here, staring across the alley, waiting. Because I know what happens next. He'll see me soon, and he won't hear a word I say.